Notice, this Midweek Mini was recorded several months ago and may not be up to date with current events. For fresh mini-sode uploads with every episode, head to patreon.com/ChilluminatiPod.
To Minisode 258, 7, 8, something like that. Yeah.
Two sisters.
Oh, hello.
Two fresh days.
Welcome to the Minisode.
Welcome to it.
Hey.
Great episode. Cornerfest has officially begun.
Yep.
Excited to be in the weeds of Alex's leftover mysteries that are all very weird, and
I feel like these were a particularly strange bunch where you go halfway in and you think you know what the mystery is about. And then and this was
takes
me
a 90
making
degree
this
turn as you described.
Yeah, this was me writing the mysteries too. It's I was like, oh dude, what's this girl in this webcam? Oh, wait, what? The 116 pages of Mormonism. What?
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's been a weird year for stories.
Yeah.
So having weird stories at the end makes perfect sense.
Yeah, totally.
Very true.
Nuts.
What do you have for us today, gentlemen? Anything
Can I
weird
start?
in the world? Yeah, please do.
I have a Mathis story, and I'm not going to tell you the headline of this story.
That
I'm just
could
going
mean a
to
lot
read
of
you the
things.
story because I want you to experience this.
Okay.
Having previously served as the president of the Republic of Caligula,
The Caligula? The kingdom of
in
Caligula?
the Russian Federation, as well as head of the Chess International Governing Body, FIDE, Kherson Ilyumzinov is perhaps best known these days for his controversial claim that he was abducted by extraterrestrials back in the 90s. While he has told this story many times before, the tale was brought back into the spotlight recently thanks to an interview on Jesse Michael's American Alchemy podcast. According to Ilyumzinov, it all started in 1997. When standing out on the balcony of his apartment in Moscow, he was abducted by alien entities wearing yellow spacesuits. They put a spacesuit on me, told me many things, and showed me around, he said. They wanted to demonstrate that UFOs do exist. I'm often asked which language they used to telepathically talk to him. Perhaps it was on a level of an exchange of ideas rather than words.
That's always how it's described.
In the recent interview, Ilyumzinov elaborated on the conversation he had with the aliens, noting that they had wanted to convey a peaceful intent. He claimed that they had told him that Earth had previously hosted 5 intelligent civilizations, that the aliens themselves had created the human race, and that they had also invented the game of chess.
Oh, all right. I knew the story. I didn't know that part for some reason.
That's the headline,
bold
is that aliens
claim.
invented chess.
We
Which I
invented chess,
love.
Man.
We made you, and we fucking made chess, bro.
He
thought that
also
was you?
maintained that
You
the
thought that was
aliens
you?
No,
Hell
we
no.
didn't chess.
Monkeys are not
That's
smart enough.
That's too smart for you. A game is
These
popular for
moves-
8,000 years? Fuck you.
He also maintained that aliens had not conveyed him any political or military knowledge, and that he had not been told about events that would come to pass in the future. Yeah. Anyway, the article ends with people are skeptical.
Yeah.
We're not
Which, of course, they are.
feeling it.
But I love the fact that the big takeaway from this is aliens invented chess.
That's
I saw
that's
some of his interview because he was interviewed, I think, a few times about this because he was in office when he got abducted. And then the other thing they kind of explained to him is do you talk to ants? Why would we show ourselves and communicate with all of you and whatnot? You're like ants to us.
Little does he
you're-
know. Yes, I do talk to ants, and I do it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's why sometimes aliens do abduct random people because they're curious what the ants are thinking. No, that's a fascinating.
Do you think when
that's
the
a weird one.
Federation got space travel that they flew back to the aliens that made us and learned the next generation of chess?
I'm genuinely.
That's what Star
I
Trek
don't-
does.
Yeah.
Is there a Star Trek episode where they like
Learn about
go like you know what I mean? Like they've never done that, have they?
They've
Where
never
it's like,
explained how their chess works.
that. Fourth dimensional chess.
Like if that's what you mean, Jesse. Like what,
No, I mean like when Alex said that like a progenitor species that made humans, right?
Oh,
Do
they've done
you
that.
think in Star Trek, the Federation ever went and like it was that ever a storyline where it was
Yes.
like, where did humans come from?
Yes,
Let's go find out.
It's a the one of the episode is the realization why all humanoid aliens and humans all look the same, like have a bipedal thing.
Yeah, because they all have
it was
the
human
human
seeded,
look. Yeah.
It was all seeded from an ancient race, but they're like long dead. Like they are, the origin of them is a progenitor seeding their genetics in the future. It's a TNG
That's basically
episode.
Prometheus.
I'll look
too.
it up. Let me
That's the alien prequel.
That
is
feels
that.
very first season TNG.
Yeah, the one with the one where they go back to the planet and they find out that those guys made aliens and us.
Yeah.
You know,
Literally, Star Trek aliens often look similar due to the in-universe explanation of ancient humanoid progenitors seeding the galaxy. The ancient humanoid episode is The Chase on TNG. What season was The Chase? TNG, The Chase.
Oh, I bet that was compelling.
Okay, so not early, but really late. Season 6, episode 20. So at the very end of season 7 was the last season they got.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's when it started to get weird. Like season 7 was when they had like Data having weird crow dream. I remember
yes.
the one where they ate Counselor Troy because she was cake. Dude, it got weird.
Oh my god, that's right. That is a weird one. Here's a link to like a wiki page of this episode, and you can just see what the alien looks like, what the progenitor species looks like. Sorry, I know random shit, but TNG is like one of my comfort shows.
I thought it was gonna
not
be
only
like a
have I
stick
seen this
figure.
episode, I remember this look completely.
the Turtle Club.
There you go. Yeah.
You guys seen Master of Disguise? You guys seen that?
Yes, I have.
Turtle. What am I not turtly enough for the Turtle
Club?
Do you guys know the? Do you guys know the trivia on that? That he was dressed like that when he found out that the towers went down.
I did know that. I did know that. Yes,
He was fully in makeup, and he was like dressed like the turtle, like this, and somebody's whispering in his ear, just like George
that's so
Bush.
funny. Oh God. So yes, Jesse, to answer your question, yes, there is a Star Trek
That's
episode
awesome.
that
Yeah,
explains
okay, great. Love that.
the progenitors. That was directed by Jonathan Frakes.
There you go.
Riker even got to direct the episode. Phenomenal.
Fact or fiction?
He was like,
Well,
I was the director
so-
of this one.
What do you got for us today, Alex?
Well, it's kind of been a Cornerfest tradition of mine to do the rejected Cornerfests, like during Cornerfest, which is rejected
Yeah.
full episodes. So
Mhm.
this is one that is a rejected Cornerfest. And this one is about the third shaker. There's just not enough to this for me to.
Third shape.
Yeah, what?
So,
You mean like the people?
no. So check this out. So you guys know what a cruet stand is?
No.
No.
So this is like a thing that is like, it's like a little thing that sits on
Oh, I do know what this is. All right, never mind. I know exactly what this is. Yes.
it sits like on a table, maybe on like a pirate ship or older, like kind of like the napkin thing on both sides.
Okay.
So your spices don't move around while you're sailing.
Yeah. It's a little stand, and they've been around forever. And there's 2 bottles in the back that are for like, kind of like dressings or whatever, and then or like ketchup or some shit like that in the back that are bottles that are clear. And then in the front there is the salt shaker on the left and the pepper shaker on the right. In the middle there's like a big third shaker, and it's on like a million cruet stands across time, but nobody really knows like exactly what goes in the third shaker for sure. Like, what would your best guess be?
I don't know.
Couldn't even begin to
Sugar?
Maybe like a
Sugar? Maybe like paprika?
A big old thing of paprika, though? You don't need it.
You never know. Yeah, you don't need it.
I mean, it may be sugar. I think that's a valuable thing. Although I
Italian
wonder
seasoning.
if because sugar and I mean, like
seasoning.
there's
Mr.
probably
Washington, please. The pasta night, Italian Friday night blend, if you will.
Oh, you got me looking up spices now.
Yeah, I don't know. So some think it was sugar, like, if you imagine how a diner is with coffee or something, like there's reasons why you'd need that much sugar. But 250 years ago, like in the 1750s, when these things were common, sugar was like not something that you would just have out like this, because it was like a very special thing to actually have sugar. Another one is dehydrated vinegar, which the problem
what if
is
it was just salt and pepper together in one big shaker.
just next to the salt and the pepper.
Yeah,
So that
and then you got the one
just-
that's full.
I don't know. So like some people think it's dehydrated vinegar, but that's weird because one of the bottles is supposed to have like vinegar. So it's like weird. Dill is another one, or cardamom is another one. But again, like why would you need, like in most of them, in most of these cruet stands, the middle one is the biggest one. So why would you need, something like dehydrated vinegar? I mean, maybe that's like British, like how HP sauce is now. Like you put a little dehydrated vinegar on everything. I don't know.
So the mystery is this missing spice then.
Like what goes inside of this goddamn third shaker? And there's not really a consensus on it, but a lot of people think that, and you can even find like in more recent years evidence that the third shaker maybe is from mustard, because mustard used to be a dry,
Like a mustard. Okay, yeah.
used to be a dry condiment that you would like put water in. So maybe you need some, like, like how people keep a jar of mustard. So maybe you need some to get your mustard going for the time, for the luncheon or whatever. And mustard is a much more central and older condiment than ketchup is. I know today in America, we kind of put them together because of hamburgers and hot dogs, but mustard is like much older than ketchup and doesn't really go with it.
Yeah, because ketchup, tomatoes are a New World thing.
Yeah. And so like powdered mustard is like the best guess that most people have, but that's probably just because, really the reason is likely that we just invented the refrigerator and just like nobody was like, wait, what about the third thing in the cruet stand? What will we do? Yeah. It's possible that like something like that happened, but I don't know. By 1922, they were calling it a mustard bottle, or in 1897, somebody called it a mustard shaker. Right. So who knows? But yeah, not exactly as sexy enough for Cornerfest.
Yeah,
but,
you can't really. Yeah, there's not much. I'm like, where do you put that into the?
But
Cornerfest
it's
agenda?
novel that something so.
It is.
It's novel that something so central to life, like that nobody thought to write down, like what that other one was. It's just interesting.
Yeah. Well, boys, let's wrap it up with something we briefly mentioned on the show today at the very beginning. Just talk about real quick the stupid trailer, Day of Disclosure Day. But the reason I want to talk about it is just like why it's taking fire in the UFO world and lore, because if Spielberg is anything, he knows his UFO lore really, really well.
He's dog whistling so many different
Close
fandoms.
Encounters of the Third Kind. He literally worked with Jacques Vallée and Hynek.
He's in the damn movie.
Scenes. Yeah. He's like super like into this stuff. And a lot of the imagery and stuff he uses in the fucking trailer is like right out of like the deep research of this shit. Specifically like the cardinal and like the bird and the animals. That goes into the woo aspect of all this shit, right? He's talking about the idea that like the spiritual or the consciousness and like where these things are may not all be so different. And a lot of the times too, when you're abducted and your brain kind of like from trauma replaces what you're seeing with something else, birds are with big eyes, like owls are often the ones that like your brain kind of replaces grays with. Is like a big owl was looking over me and stuff like that. And there's also talk about like how animals and shit can like are like a weird like earth trigger of like something weird's happening. Canary in the coal mine.
Think about what brain state you're in when you don't know what you're looking at and you're like running through the Rolodex. Like we were talking about in the episode, like you're going to put something that in there before you're like, perhaps it's an alien.
Right. Yeah. And then the clicking and mimicry stuff also talking about like they're able to either kind of just like poke into our consciousness or whatever. But the reason I think this is all taking off is because Spielberg has openly said in a recent interview, I think with Stephen Colbert, I think is where people are pulling it from, that like he's talked about how he's, I think he believes in aliens and stuff. But when he's asked like, if they're real, like, why do you think they're here? Spielberg specifically says that he believes that they are here because they're potentially future humans in like a scientific role coming back to observe an event that happens to humanity. And Spielberg also specifically says in interviews, he's like, we survive, or at least some of us survive. but he's talking about like these things that are here are like watching us, not with like an intent to guide us, but to like anthropology style, like watch an event in history that might be their history happen, whatever that event may be. And the idea that these things, whatever they are, can like access consciousness, if the next step is like the obliteration of the walls of the self and like a consciousness of like how does telepathy work if not in quantum entanglement with like other brains and, you know, thoughts? If that happens to humanity at some point, there is that that thought of like, well, the obliteration of the self would happen, right? If humanity is going to psychically connect in some way, that like would happen. There would be no more you if like you just can, you know, everybody's thoughts and stuff.
Right.
And I, you know, that's, I think what again, this is a sci-fi movie. This is not a documentary. This is not.
And he's probably gassing it up a little bit too, like in the way that he's talking, right?
Of course, he wants to sell a movie that's like scary and is exciting, and you know he's doing what he's doing. But
it's probably going to be tight. Yeah.
The reason that people I think are freaking out is because, you know, Spielberg is known to like kind of have interest in this stuff. He's talked with Guillermo del Toro about Guillermo del Toro's sighting of a UFO, and del Toro's sighting says it was extremely cliche. He was disappointed. Like his UFO sighting was exactly what people talk about, a spinning disc, blinking lights. And in their interview, he's like, I was very disappointed. He's like, I remember him talking about that. Yeah. But because Spielberg believes, and he says that he thinks that they're future humans, I don't know where he gets that idea from. Knowing who he's talked to, though, is I think why people.
Well, maybe the screenplay, though, also like
credence into it. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, exactly. Right. Like maybe, you know, it's fucking part of the screenplay.
Maybe committing to that for now at this time.
Yeah. But that's it's every UFO subreddit. If you even poke in, it's everybody thinks this is like what Age of Disclosure actually is. And I'm like, no, I mean, there might be some cool stuff in there. Like Close Encounters of the Third Kind was extremely on the nose and really good with abduction scenario stuff. But like,
I think like it would be great if there was like a movie series at the center of the UFO fandom, because then they could like get into that instead of like trying to like mess with people who are really trying to figure this out all the time. Like, right. I feel like if they could just like get into their theories, and like the writers would just like give them the theories that they want and show them the movie of the aliens happening. That's fantasy fulfillment. That's why people care about Batman's outfit being a certain way. Like, I feel like if they had that, maybe when this movie comes out, maybe they'll be just like, I'm like a Disclosure Day fan. I'm not like a UFOologist. I'm just a Disclosure Day fan. I think that movie's tight. I love that movie.
I don't think that is going to happen, unfortunately. I think
it's going to be just like Close Encounters. People are like, soft disclosure, dude.
You guys seen that? You guys seen that picture of that orangutan smoking? That's me.
Oh,
that's me right now.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be a great movie. Don't put any fucking like stock into it. Don't stress about it. You know, it's not going to be the end of the world, everybody in the UFO subreddits. I promise. That's it for us.
Wait. I want to show you guys this picture of this
orangutan smoking.
Orangutan smoking. This is me right now.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
That's me thinking about all the people that are not going to understand this movie.
Like if this was an event that was really happening, do you think Spielberg would be making a movie about it and hyping it up and dropping trailers, or do you think a documentary would be something what he'd be doing? You know what I mean? Like,
if it was real, real, this monkey would be me.
If it was real, this monkey is you.
This one's
also just smoking. Okay,
but he's happy though. He's like, he looks like he's savoring it. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one looks exhausted.
Yeah. He looks like he needs it. And this guy looks like he got so hyped that he decided to light one up, which I like better. Cornerfest again next time.
Yep. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. We appreciate you. We love you.
So many things.
Goodbye.
Bye.